You will be able to dive and smash through windows to surprise your enemies.
I'm showing up late to the EA conference, so we're just going to let these guys talk about Battlefield 5.
Move these weapons around on the battlefield and gain advantages. And our renowned destruction system is back and more impactful than ever. So, well, you can't really hide from those pesky tanks anymore as they come chasing it for you, as they rip through those buildings. And you will now be able to customize your soldiers, your vehicles, and your weapons, not only for the gameplay, but for the looks, as part of our portrayal of the Second World War.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg in Battlefield 5. You're going to see a lot more of our new gameplay systems here at EA Play from our community. So let's talk about our single player in War Stories.
Yes, let's do that. So we want to tell you about those untold stories that got us excited to start with on this game. It's about, what you will see is really those moments of human heroism. It is about witnessing the war through the eyes of the men and the women who shaped the world forever. Real and relatable people facing the brutality of war. We started off by an exclusive look at the Nordlys war story over at the Xbox briefing tomorrow.
Thanks, Lasse. Something not to miss tomorrow.
Okay, we're not
so,
going to show
our
you
launch in
anything
October
until tomorrow.
is just the beginning.
Thanks.
You will all go on an expanding journey through the Second World War. No loot boxes, no premium pass.
All right.
Every day,
we will hold you to that.
We'll bring something new. And as part of that journey, after launch, you'll get something I know a lot of you have been asking for.
It's Royale.
No shit. No shit. They're doing a battle because everybody's doing a fucking
Royale reimagined for Battlefield. So we bring those pillars of Battlefield with destruction, team play, vehicles into this new experience. So we will bring you experience that you haven't played before in Battlefield or anywhere else.
Like, honestly,
Battlefield would be more about that later this year.
So with that, it's time to show you what makes Battlefield so special. It's the unmatched intensity of our multiplayer sandbox, and this time, it's even more epic, fighting across multiple maps and modes. Welcome to your next Battlefield experience, and this is your first look at ground operations. And this time, even featuring music.
I don't believe this is in-game footage. This looks like hyper-target rendered. This is CG. So where are we currently? Because, yeah, those are the Northern Lights. So they gotta be in Russia, I guess? I do like this crawling on the ground thing. I think that's a cool addition to the game. Again, like, I don't know if any of that was real gameplay or it was just all CG.
Ikke en dråpe. Jeg elsker deg.
Sus! Huh. Yeah, sports! Let's go!
Quando eu era criança, sempre sonhei em tornar-me um campeão. É preciso determinação e vontade de vencer. Até mesmo nos momentos mais difíceis, tu tens de continuar a acreditar. Esta é a tua oportunidade de te mostrares ao mundo. tu és um campeão.
So they just use Frostbite for everything at this point. Like, it's their... Well, granted it is their engine, so they might as well.
I done fought prepared for this moment. Now I'm off the ledge and I'm floating. Want my name in a raptor's name, but you after pain and the passion reign as a champion.
Okay, 19. Here it comes. What theater do they have to show off their stuff? God damn, EA, your conference is loud. Here's the cup. Okay.
That's the UEFA Champions League, the pinnacle of club football, where the world's best clubs compete and icons of the game like Gerrard and Cruyff cemented their legacies. The world's biggest league
I'm
joins
confused.
the
Do I
world's
win
game.
that cup if I play professional?
And a special thanks to the legendary Hans
football?
Zimmer and LA's own Vince Staples for collaborating with us on the trailer. And I
Oh,
really
they
love the
got
trailer
Hans
because it
to
captures our
compose the
epic
music.
vision
Jeez.
for how the Champions League comes to life in FIFA 19. And Lena's going to tell you a little bit more about that.
As Aaron said, the UEFA Champions League is an amazing addition for the game. It's where football's biggest heroes like Ronaldo and Neymar clash every year. And it's the place where champions rise. And you've been asking for this for a long time, and we are
a new game
thrilled
mode?
that it's here. And that's why we're bringing the Champions League across the game. There'll be an authentic Champions League tournament mode. Your club will chase this trophy in career mode. Alex Hunter will pursue Champions League
Okay, so
glory
they're-
in your
they're-
story mode, the journey.
Yeah, they're keeping
and
Alex Hunter
in
for the
FIFA
story
Ultimate
mode, so
Team,
that's
there'll
going
be
across.
live and authentic Champions League content. And we'll
Okay.
share more details on that, along with all our other Ultimate Team features later this summer.
And all of that's just the beginning.
Okay.
As you
Soccer?
know, the heart and soul of
I know
FIFA
people
is
like it.
gameplay.
I know
And this
Brazil
year, we're
loves
giving
it.
you the tools to control the pitch in every moment, from your tactical approach to the match to each technical touch. And we know how passionate you are about gameplay, so we've worked hard to shape and refine our vision for FIFA 19 with input from our community. From hands-on tests with beginners to detailed feedback sessions with FIFA pros. And we're gonna be sharing a lot
Question
more
I
about
have
gameplay
is,
throughout
why
the
do you
summer,
need
but
to
what I can tell you right
improve
now is
the
that
gameplay for
quality bar
FIFA?
of
I
gameplay
think
was
once you
raised
get
yet
a
again
gameplay
this year.
that people really like,
So we
you
look
can just
forward to
keep it
everybody
standard and then
experiencing
improve
the
the
game on
graphics
the hands-on
and
sessions
features
this
each
week.
rendition.
And
I don't
also,
think
of
you
course,
need
we're
to touch the
extremely
gameplay
excited
every single.
for everybody to play
I don't
when we
think
launch on
each
September
game
28th.
needs to play completely differently
And that's
from
our
the
FIFA
last
19
one.
news, headlined
When
by
you
the UEFA
get an
Champions League.
annualized franchise
But I just wanted
like
to take
that.
a minute,
Especially
to
sports
pause
games.
and
I think
reflect.
having standardized controls
standing next to
between
this trophy is a little bit surreal. You know,
sports games is
growing
probably a
up,
better idea than
there's
changing
two
it up every
iconic
single
trophies
time.
that every young player
Because you might
dreams
get
of
an
winning.
edition where the
And
controls
for your
aren't
club,
great.
it's this one, the pursuit of Champions League glory. But for your country, it's this trophy, the World Cup.
Starts
And with the tournament starting
this
in
year.
just 5 days, we're
5
excited for
days.
the world to
Okay, yeah.
compete for
World
it in
Cup's-
FIFA 18.
Yeah. World Cup's about to
As you
start.
can imagine, all of us on the FIFA team can't wait for the
Yeah, in
start
Russia.
of the World Cup. And we want to celebrate
gonna be
with FIFA
interesting.
18 players, which is why we've just updated the game with a free World Cup experience on PlayStation
Good.
4, Xbox One, PS, PC, and Nintendo Switch. But you can take Ronaldo and Portugal to their first World Cup victory. Or you can write your own story with some great nations who didn't qualify this year. Or you can make a crazy dream a reality for your home country, like mine, Iceland. Who would have thought that a nation of only 350,000 people would ever qualify? And you can feel their excitement.
apologies to any England fans in the room. That might still sting. And Lena isn't the only one who's excited. FIFA 18 players are loving the World Cup experience so far. But we don't want to stop there. We want to invite everyone to come and join the celebration. So I'm pleased to announce that for a limited time, FIFA 18 complete with the entire World Cup experience is available for a free trial on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and on PC through Origin Access.
Well, that's cool for anybody
you
who
can download and play the entire game right now for free.
Really like the FIFA games hadn't already bought it. Like, I think that's a pretty dedicated audience that buys.
So to kick off the trial, we've got some of the world's biggest creators.
But for anyone
we're going to be playing live
out,
at the end of the show, representing their nations at a little mini World Cup tournament.
And this summer will bring so much more for FIFA fans. Plenty of FIFA 18 content centered around the World Cup.
Back for a second?
And we'll bring you all the details on FIFA 19.
Is that King Batch
but in the meantime,
as the American
let's all enjoy the World
FIFA
Cup. Thank you.
player?
And auf Ravistan!
All right. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know about sports games. I honestly don't. I would probably cut this entire section from this recording.
It is the big day. On the biggest stage at the World Cup.
Good morning. EA Sports.
Oh, what's
FIFA
up, Wilson?
19. You know, the FIFA community never rests.
How you doing?
20 million people from 60 countries playing in competitive leagues this year. Well, the FIFA team never rests either, bringing the Champions League and the World Cup and so much other greatness.
He's taken the suit off, but he's gone for the Steve Jobs style look, but not too much because he doesn't have the full turtleneck, but it's close.
EA Play and our second one in Hollywood, and we couldn't be more excited to have you with us to share all the games that we have to show you. We've got lots to do, but before we move on, I'd like to share just a couple of things. The greatest disruption to the consumption of entertainment media in the last 5 years is the combination of streaming plus subscription. As consumers, watching movies, watching TV, listening to music, reading books has never been easier. And we believe that disruption is going to have a profound impact on our industry in the next few years. And so over the last couple of weeks, you will have seen that we announced a new team from Israel has joined Electronic Arts to help our investment to extend our thinking and extend our pioneering into this cloud gaming world. For many people, that's going to mean extending the experiences they already play on our partner platforms. For others, it's going to mean new games and new modalities of play across a whole variety of platforms. But for everyone, it's going to mean playing games anywhere, anytime. So this week we've got a tech demo running. All of our games streaming in HD from the cloud to multiple devices that you'll be able to try out for yourselves. Now it's not quite ready for full market prime time yet.
Since they have Titanfall 2 there, I'd love to see somebody do a technical test between that and the actual copy.
And we started subscription a number of years ago, and many millions of you have signed up and experienced the joy of being able to have full access to a great catalog of games. Today, we're announcing Origin Access Premiere. So 3 things you need to know about it.
Pardon?
Origin Access Premiere will bring you all of our new PC games, starting with Madden NFL, back on the PC for the first time in over a decade.
Why was it
FIFA
off
19,
the PC?
Battlefield 5, and of course Anthem. And there'll be many more titles in the years to come. Second, you get access to the Vault, our library of over 100 games from EA and other publishers.
That looks so weird looking.
And third, it will launch later this summer. So that's a little later in the year, but if you want to get started right now and experience the benefits and joys of subscription, come in and play a free trial
EA
of Origin
not have
Access,
a good track
our base
record with
subscription
PC
this weekend.
stuff, and it
Thank you
can
and have a great
sometimes
show.
fall apart and servers don't actually work? Whatever, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I don't understand.
But I don't see how. Got a real tight grip when I hold that crown. My life been good and bad and all around. The more things I lost, the more I found. Came here ready to fight on this night. You
probably the most Titanfall play that Titanfall 2 has gotten in a while. God, I forgot they own Absu. I always forget that they own Absu. They better talk about Anthem. They better talk about clearly what the fuck is going on.
Hey everybody! What's up? So I'm here sitting inside the crowd at EA Play, and I just happened to find Mr. Vince Zampella here in the audience from Respawn.
All right, Vince, what do you got?
Vince, how you feeling
You're the
today?
only person in this room I actually kind of like.
I love seeing new games.
I mean, someone's super excited about that meta on PC, right? Yeah! So, you guys may have seen that Vince was tweeting yesterday, and there has been a bunch of speculation. So,
Titan 3?
You want to just get right to it?
Titan 3?
Sure. I mean, we're not ready to show all of our stuff yet. We're working on a bunch of stuff. It's amazing. The teams are kicking ass. But we wanted to bring a little tidbit. So we've been working with Lucas on
This
getting
is their
the
Star
name
Wars game.
and kind of the setting for what our Star Wars game is going to be, and we're going to.
This is their lightsaber combat
now.
game.
Oh, you guys got any guesses? I bet you the
It's a
internet is
lightsaber
going
combat game.
wild
They
right
showed
now.
stuff of it last E3.
So the Star Wars name is Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay,
Woo!
yeah.
So Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. So it kind of
Probably
gives you
a
some idea
semi-sequel
that
to
you'll be playing a
Outcast.
Jedi.
So does that mean I get to like hold a lightsaber?
Yes.
So Vince, you got anything else?
Well, it takes place during the dark times. Trying to be a little vague here, but when the Jedis are being hunted, so it's going to be
between 3 and 4,
So for all the
essentially.
the hardcore nerds out there who want to know like where in the timeline, like between which episodes is it?
between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Between 3
All
and 4.
right, between 3 and 4. That sounds like a nice time. You got any other tidbits? No?
It's not a nice.
It's a dark time.
It's a dark time.
Bad time. Does that mean this could just be all dark and serious?
It's amazing.
All right,
Vince is
so I
like,
think people are
take
now
the
anxious to
camera
wanna know,
off
like,
of me.
when can we play the
I
game?
just want to go back
it
to
will
work.
be holiday of next year, 2019,
That's
not
fine.
this year.
Sorry to dash any hopes.
No.
But now that we know, we can set expectations.
But
We're
that
all gonna be
means
amped
that
up, and hopefully
they're
we'll
giving
hear
him more time to
from
work
you
on
maybe,
things
maybe
because
next year.
Titan 2,
Well,
they
Vince-
kicked out the door.
It was great to see
Well,
you. Thanks for stopping by
maybe
the
not
show
kicked
today.
out the door, but they released it
We
in
do
a
have a little bit more
bad
news
time.
on Star Wars, so I'm going to toss it over to Dennis.
Hey, I'm the guy
Hello
who's
there.
attempting to
My
fix
name
this
is
trash
Dan. I
fire.
work at DICE in Stockholm on Star Wars Battlefront 2. I'm really happy and excited to be here today, so thank you so much for hanging out with me for a
nice
little
shirt,
bit.
my friend. That's a
So
nice shirt.
we launched our game in November of last year, and
Yes, you did.
clearly we didn't get it quite right. So instead of coming out of the gate sprinting, like we really wanted to, we had to take a step back and make sure that we were delivering the game that our players really wanted. So we decided to completely overhaul our progression system and add a bunch of new character cosmetics for players to collect instead. So from there, we added a new hunt mode inspired by the original Battlefront games that I loved personally.
Good.
starting
Hunt
with the
deserves to
Ewoks
be in
on
there.
Endor. And
Hunt deserves to be in there. Good.
Thank you. It turned out to be by far the most popular update of the game, and the team loved building Ewok Hunt. So as you might know,
do
we're
Hoth.
currently in our Han Solo season with content from the movie coming next week. It's headlined by the new planet Kessel, a really dangerous place, and it features the return of one of our favorite modes, Extraction. So looking forward a little bit, this summer we will be introducing a new squad system to the game, which will allow you to team up much easier and play with your friends.
Good.
We're also adding a new starfighter mode focused around dogfighting with your hero ships. And looking ahead a little bit more,
Hero combat
we will
ships.
also be delivering a new large-scale multiplayer sandbox experience focused around capturing command posts and attacking and taking out capital ships. But that's not all. We know that you have been asking for new heroes, villains,
we
and
talking air to
planets
ground?
from a certain
We talking
era that
space to
features a
ground
very iconic
combat?
Star Wars conflict. So I'm excited to confirm that Battlefront 2 this year will be going deep into the Clone Wars.
Good. Good. Do some additional stuff. Bring out the weird characters.
That we begin on the planet Geonosis, featuring multiple levels, including the largest level we have ever built for Battlefront.
All right.
So let's talk about the heroes and villains. First, let me introduce...
Yeah, he's back!
The most powerful droid, the leader of the most
Mash
powerful
those
droid
buttons,
army in the
kids.
galaxy, General
Mash
Grievous.
those fucking buttons.
And yes, he will be going up against my own personal favorite, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hello there.
Finally making his debut in Battlefront after all these years. But we're not done. That's not it. They will not come alone. Joining them is the Dark Lord and leader of the Separatist Alliance, Count Dooku.
Good.
As well as someone to bring balance to the Force, Obi-Wan's unruly Padawan, Anakin Skywalker. The team at home is extremely excited to be building all of these cool things.
All right,
and
they're
DICE
trying to
are
redeem
committed
themselves.
To Battlefront.
They're trying to redeem
We
themselves.
had a rough start, but I really think that this game has a bright future. Thank you very much for playing the game, providing us with your feedback, talking to us. Together, we will make this the greatest game that we can possibly build. There would be no Battlefront without you. So thank you, may the Force be with you, and enjoy the rest of E3. Thanks.
All right. I hope they can repair it and get a chance to fix some stuff. So what are we looking at here? Yes, cool! I'm happy this gets a sequel. I really need to play the original because I've only ever heard really nice things about it. But I am happy that it is getting a sequel. Hey, he's back. How you doing, man?
Hi, it's really good to see you. In Unravel, we used yarn to symbolize love and the bonds between people. In our new game, we tear that bond up right at the start. You lose everything, including your spark. But when things are at their darkest,
oh, cool! You get
you
a
find
friend.
Hope. And you form a new bond.
Cool.
And your spark is rekindled.
Huh.
And it leads you off on an adventure. So welcome to Unravel 2.
Nice. Nice. Very cool.
It's a game about fresh starts and second chances. These two little souls who refuse to give up and who build something new and beautiful together.
Nice.
And the whole game is inspired by that spirit of optimism and togetherness. You see, it's all made to be played with two characters. You can play it alone, or you can play it in co-op with a friend. But
I
there's
think in
always two
co-op
characters
it's gonna
there,
be a lot more
sharing
fun.
one yarn and working together to get through this adventure.
Like,
This game
this feels like
it's quite different from the first.
It's going to be a lot more
both
fun to
friendlier
play
and more challenging, but above all,
with a friend.
it's a lot more playful. And we think it's a worthy successor. And I want to show it to you now. So I brought some help. So please welcome Michael to the stage. So a producer at Coldwood.
So they're going to play co-op together. That's cool.
And we're going to try to show you a little bit of what I'm talking about how you can play the game in co-op with yourself, essentially.
God.
So this
This wasn't prepared.
Whoa!
There we are.
It's a full fucking dev build. That means this is...
So when you're playing it by yourself, you can essentially pick up the other
together.
character and carry them along through the more
You look like
fast-paced
Spider-Man.
segments of the game. And we actually tried to include a bit more of those because we figured that since it's a co-op game, we wanted to have more like
cool
thrill and danger and kind of wow moments, places that were like fun and exciting. And then when you get to the more puzzly areas like this, when you're problem solving, you can split apart into two and switch back and forth between the two characters. Because that's how we've essentially designed all the problems and puzzles of the game, that you're always working together and helping each other out and utilizing this bond between you to overcome any obstacle that you come across.
And then, yeah, you just click back and forth between the two.
So I guess I'll jump in at this point.
Yeah, come join me. So I'm gonna be the red one.
Okay.
You'll be the blue one.
I'll be blue.
And then click, go. Drop in, drop out, co-op. Perfect.
Celebratory flip there.
Good job, guys.
And the bird is back.
I like this more because
Right.
these guys built the game, so they're talking because they're thinking in terms of like a play test.
Okay,
they're
you
not
go
trying to be dramatic about showcasing like their personalities. They're just thinking about the mechanics of the game and how to work together properly.
Got it?
What I'm trying to say is when you do live demos, this is the way to do it. Have two people who know the game inside out and have worked with the code of it. Let them do it.
Oh, sweet. Well done. Okay, I'll go up and distract the grouse. You can.
I'll sneak up here.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah, look at me. There you go.
Keep him over to the left. Now I'll go.
All right.
I'll
pull you up. There you go.
Now we can breathe again.
Yeah, finally.
Or can we?
Jump.
So that's a quick little look at Unravel 2, and
well done, well done.
Yeah, I really hope you like it. And before I go, I just want to send some love to the team back home because working on this game has been a completely amazing team effort in so many levels, and everybody has worked so hard. So there's a bunch of us from Coldwood here, and thank you to those, and thank you to everybody back home, and thank you. Love you.
Awesome. Cool. I'm glad that small projects like that get a chance to get sequels. And especially with the two-player mechanic and, well, even just the mechanic of switching back between the two yarn characters. That's cool.
The sea waves are my evening gold, and the sun on my head is my home. I made this kingdom on my own, and all the mountains are my home.
Cool.
Your kingdom come.
Thank you, Martin, and the brilliant team at Coldwood. The game is really strong. These guys have done an amazing job, and it's clear that they have a lot of passion, and I can't personally wait to play Unravel 2 with my kids. But what's even more amazing is that we will make Unravel 2 available to everyone today. Yep, you heard that right. You'll be able to take these two Yarnies on their next big adventure starting today. The game is finished, it's out.
Wow, good. That's a cool shadow drop.
So
That's
thank you,
awesome.
Martin, and thank you to the team at Coldwood. Back in 2015, we started on this journey with the original Unravel to seek out the most creative, independent developers and bring them into our EA Originals program. It's been our way of helping these creators bring their unique games to the world and to tell their stories. And last year, if you remember, Joseph Fares was up here on stage representing his team at Hazelight and The Way Out.
Tell me
and I think
you're working on a sequel.
And you might even remember him from the Game Awards as well. I think I did. Anyhow, in March, that game caught fire.
Yes,
it was
you know what? Like,
it's fun.
say
and
what you
something
will,
fresh and new,
The Way Out
and
is
you all
a
loved it.
good game.
We saw over 2 million players in the first 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
And A Way Out is such a huge success that Joseph and his team are expanding and moving into a new studio.
Cool.
So stories like this drive our industry, and it's why we will continue to work with independent developers to
Yeah,
help them
because
realize
I
their
think
dreams.
that style,
Which
especially the way
leads
the
us to
camera
our
work
next EA
goes.
Originals title from a little game studio in Berlin called Joe My Games. When I met this team and I saw the game, I was instantly drawn to how personal this story was. It's one that carries a very powerful and important message, and it's unlike anything we have ever done. So please welcome Connie Gepper to the stage from Joe My Games to tell you more about Sea of Solitude.
Okay.
Thank you, Patrick. I still remember during the pitch how enthusiastic Patrick was, and that afterwards, like our whole team, including me, were super excited. It actually feels a little bit the same right now. I'm pretty excited, maybe a little too excited. Thank you. We are Yomai, a small indie game studio from Berlin, and we are developing Sea of Solitude, or SOS as we call it. The whole journey from the very first concept to actually becoming a part of EA Originals is simply amazing. Let me tell you more about our game. When humans get too lonely, they turn into monsters. This is the core of everything you will see, hear, and hopefully feel while playing SOS. What makes this underlying concept so important and so unique is that nearly every human being can at least somehow relate to or remember the feeling of being lonely. In my case, I started writing the story when I felt the loneliest in my life. I think as an artist, you process your emotional world by letting it out and putting it into your art. Yep. I'm still amazed how the concept seems to just float out of me right into the hand and onto the paper. I think this is also why so many people can instantly connect with the game, because it's not a made-up story, even though that it takes place in a fantastic setting.
World, yeah.
In SOS, we try to show how people experience different kinds of loneliness, but also how outsiders, friends, and families see those who struggle. We achieve all this in playful ways so that players who want to simply enjoy a fantastic experience can do so. But player who wants to look a bit deeper can reveal a whole emotional world beneath it all. Sea of Solitude is about a young woman named Kay who is suffering from such strong loneliness that her inner feeling, the darkness, the anger, the hopelessness, worthlessness turns to the outside and she becomes a monster. The game is about finding out why this happened to her, but also how to turn her back into a human. Ultimately, the goal is to bring all those emotions into balance. Some needs to become bigger, some would be better off a little smaller, but to embrace even your destructive part or your self-doubt in the same way you embrace your joy or your hope. This is what being human is all about. And that's what our game is all about. Thank you.
All right.
Is this
Ooh, okay.
This world that I live in is empty and cold. The loneliness cuts me and tortures my soul. I'm no child of destiny and no fortune's son. I've just chased you so long now, I'm too weak to run. A new day is here, but nothing is new. Alone in my room, I tremble for you.
Early next year. Okay. Having the extended dark hair and fur really adds to the design of those characters and monsters and stuff. That looks very interesting, and I think it can sort of hover in some of the same space as something like Senua, Hellblade, depending on how they've written it and composed it together. But I'm genuinely interested in that. And then basketball.
As long as you hold your court. Just remember though, wherever you call home, whatever your fit, or however you ball, you are my court.
So looks like they're up on the customization of the characters and stuff.
I'm the one. And this is my squad.
That's kind of cool. Cool idea, at least.
My name's Shay Kivlin, aka Young Kiv. I'm from Seattle, Washington. The only goal of mine is really to win the Mountain Belt.
Kiv's been going after that belt since 2016. At some point, he's going to need to get out of this quarterfinal and claim a major.
It's a big night for Young Kiv. He's been stuck at the quarterfinals.
And here he is now in his first championship game, looking to accomplish a goal.
3rd and 4, throws it low. T.Y. drops it.
That was a phenomenal read, and Trini's got the lead.
40-19.
I hate losing way more than I love winning.
Oh, we have an incredible matchup. It's a rematch. Touchdown, Kev. He throws it high, and Young Kev is going to be your champion. Can I play you again?
You want to get smacked again on TV?
Every face, no. Madden 18 champion.
He's finally done it.
So why did they make it like a UFC belt and not a trophy?
Okay, baby, how you doing?
I've been good. You still recovering from that butt whooping?
Wow, already starting. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Juju Smith-Schuster from the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you guys can see,
So,
touchdown celebrations.
An actual
That's pretty
football
fire.
player.
I like that a lot.
And a digital football
As you
player.
guys know, this is Young Kiv, Madden 18, Madden champion. Like, give it up for Young Kiv, y'all. Give it up.
I'm good, thanks.
Young Kiv, how has it been? You know, your success and your path, you know, to where you're at today.
It's I've always been a competitor. When I was in high school, I was playing baseball. I hurt my arm. So then I picked up Madden, and at first I was really bad. I was getting blown out online, but I kept at it. I put more and more time into it. Eventually I made my first tournament, but I had a big decision. It was the same time as my graduation.
Wow, okay. So the key to be the #1 player in Madden is to hurt your arm in baseball. That's number one. Number two, you said you had the decision to go to your graduation or go to the tournament. So like, what did you do?
I chased that money. I still got my diploma, but I chased that money.
There you go. We're out here chasing money. That's awesome. Okay, now the past few years, how has it been for you? I know you had some ups and downs.
It's been tough. I've had a lot of devastating losses. I've been so close so many times. I made the final on TV and got blown out by all those losses. It made me gain a lot of mental toughness, and that's why I got this belt.
That's awesome. That belt is so amazing. There's a lot of, bling on that belt for you. Well, today, EA Play, first look at the Madden 19 trailer. Super excited. It's going to be so fun. It's lit. I honestly wish I can stay right here and talk to you guys forever, but I'm not going to board you guys. We're going to go out. I'm going to try to take this belt, round 2. So we're out. Have a good day.
All right. Yeah, sure. Like, a lot of that kind of stuff happens in competitive fighting games stuff as well. I don't know. Madden 8 MySpace. I'll probably cut this as well.
Just to get to this place where you've been told legends are born. You fall so you can rise. And you rise so that you can truly see that it was really never about reaching the end of the road at all, but about all the moments that got you here.
They're using the same sound effect cues and sequencing as the Battlefield 5 trailer, but for football. To be fair, it makes it sound more interesting and more exciting. I'm not gonna disagree with that.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nathanius, professional shoutcaster, here alongside Redwood Studios General Manager Michael Martinez. How you doing today?
I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, we're going to do this presentation a little bit differently and give you your first look at a brand new mobile game in a live, winner-take-all, head-to-head match. Michael, why don't you tell us the rules?
Sure thing. The objective is straightforward. Destroy the opponent's base to win. Unit control, super simple. Just tap the destination, unit automatically moves there. The most efficient way to destroy the opponent's base is with this giant nuclear missile in the center of the map. Control the missile by standing on a majority of the control points. A bar fills up while the missile is possessed. Whoever controls the missile when the bar fills up will fire the missile. Takes 2 missiles to destroy the enemy's base and win. That's it.
Sounds great, Michael. Well, enough talking about it. Let's get to this match.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome matchup lined up for you here today. Fighting for the blue side of the room, if you could please give a cheer for one of the most formidable RTS players there is. Make some noise for In Control.
Wait.
Yes.
Isn't that guy like a professional StarCraft player?
His opponent, fighting for the red side of the room, a competitive mobile gaming phenomenon. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Nick at Night. Now, Mike, it's going to be a real clash of these gaming styles and the competitive backgrounds that these players have. It should be a great match.
It really is. I can't wait.
All right. Are the players ready? Let's get this thing going.
Ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, let's kick this off. Nice little strategy game for those of you out there. It's a good genre. I'm very excited for this. The players are loading in, and we are ready to
the
kick
match. Here we go.
This off as the players' bases have been deployed and the action begins like any strategy game. Economy will be the focus. We have a harvester to start things off. Nothing too crazy yet.
Nothing too crazy.
Is
Now the
this
infantry is
what
gonna
it's
come out to hold that
become
top
of
point.
Command and
Both players, of
Conquer?
course, trying to
Because
take
this
that
looks a
position. They can
lot
being able to
like
reach it a little bit first.
Tiberium,
In a strategy
at
game,
least
that
at that
position,
top.
that In Control's going from the top
This
side,
top
also very
section
important
here,
as
that looks
Nick
a
and Knight's
lot
forces
like
have to circle around the
Tiberium
center.
crystals
Right,
from
let's see if he's able to
Tiberium
create
War.
a 2-on-1. Is he able to get there? Looks like he's getting there. Here comes GDI with a Rhino.
Oh my God!
Going
This
for the
is what happened
anti-infantry,
to
like any
Command
strategy
and
game, the
Conquer.
units that you're
Because
going
that,
to use
yeah.
when you deploy them will
So
have a huge
we've got
impact. Your
GDI on this side
micromanagement of
and
your
not
forces
on
and
that
protecting
side.
that economy
This is
as well.
what happened to
Nick and Knight
Command
with
and
some attack
Conquer.
bikes in the
This
top.
is what happened to one of the
Control placing
coolest
the turret in
strategy
the top
games
right
ever,
side to help
and one of my
cover
personal
that Rhino
favorites,
as attack bikes
because it
move
was
towards
one of the only
northwest
ones that
position.
was
You can see that the
available
missile
on
is beginning to
consoles.
ready and
I
firing
love
that takes out
Tiberium
half your
3.
base.
I
The
thought it
most
was a
important
great game.
objective
Yeah,
on the
this
map
is
to
what
hold those
happens
control zones.
Right.
to
And In Control making a lot of
Tiberium
progress on the far
Wars.
right side of the map.
No, we're not gonna make
He's done a great
fucking
job
Command
of
and
pulling that
Conquer
down with the
4.
turret.
We're gonna
And
make
now
a
he's redeploying
fucking
the
mobile
south
game.
side, bringing in
Come
more
on!
infantry to deal with the attack bikes.
Jesus
And as the economy ramps up, of course,
Christ,
we
are
see
you
bigger, more powerful
serious?
Units come out. We have there the drill pod coming in the left side to help
There it is.
flank
Putting
those
some
flames.
flamethrowers. Right, absolutely. Again,
God.
going to tear through those infantry.
Yeah, and In Control brings out his first tank. That's going to be used to try and help push back these smaller forces as he makes his way to the
This is
south side. That
depressing.
missile passing
This is
halfway now.
really
Two zones in control of Nick and Knight.
depressing.
He will have the missiles. We see it starts to point towards In Control's base.
Let's see if In Control can get around to that top corner, able to halt that missile. He does contest the missile, putting it into the yellow position.
Yeah, very important, of course. Blocking the pathing of those units is another big factor for this strategy. Holding those locations is so crucial as In Control begins to secure the northwest spot. Another tank's going to come out from Nick at Night to take it out.
Yep,
But now
yeah,
he's
and there's
bringing out the
there's
Pitbulls to help
the
lock
Jeep
down
with the
that north
rockets.
position.
This missile is very, very close to firing. Let's see what's going to happen.
With another turret, In Control flanks. He takes the top. That missile
And that
fires off.
Wow.
And Nick at Night, one shot away from being knocked out here, as the next one will start to ready up in just a moment's time. In Control's very heavy artillery force is doing a great job at taking control of the map. And we can see as more
Probably
Nick and
why
Knight's
they
forces
didn't
move
bring
towards
up the
that north
fact that
position,
it's
those harvesters, of
Command
course,
and
very
Conquer
crucial,
is
very
they
important
don't
to protect
they
those. As your
didn't want
economy
to
allows you
say.
to get these big late game units. The units are going to come out a bit more slowly as you get more of them on the field. But In Control, just spreading his forces out, trying to hold this advantage that he's had so far.
Nick at Night is trying to get in there, but there's a great turret placement from In Control, blocking and just ripping through again those infantry.
And we see In Control now moving his tank towards this
Another
south
drill
side.
pod we're seeing with some flame tanks.
Yeah, bring in the flank. Of course, those flame guys do amazing damage to the infantry, help to clean that out. Meanwhile, two more tanks coming out from Nick at Night to try and secure those positions. He brings out the laser infantry on the south side as well to deal with that
But
tank.
yeah, and
Going
this
for
is what you're
counters,
limited to.
trying
You
scout
can't
out
get
to see what
any
your opponent is doing and make a proper
of
response.
your
It's so
better
important
quality
to
units. You
Absolutely.
can't
Nick at
get
Night cruising
what the
around,
heck
thinking
are
about
the
harassing
name?
those harvesters, coming around
Mammoth
the far
tanks.
side
That's what
for
they're
those
called.
rhinos. Looks like he's really pressing it.
Oh no, they're available. They're just really expensive. Yeah, I want to see a mammoth because if you can get mammoths and then add the railguns to them, because once you have the mammoths and railguns, then you can really take out a lot of. They're really good at attacking vehicles and structures.
Next missile is gonna end it.
I also have a feeling that this is a reasonably staged. I don't know if it's staged.
But Nick
I
and
don't
Knight's
know.
done a great job of getting map presence and now also harassing the economy of
There he
Yep.
is. Yep.
There's
Wow.
a mammoth.
Okay, we've got our first mammoth tank on the board. If In Control can get this in position, he's going to do some serious damage.
That
God.
missile just passed halfway ready. He's also bringing out his first air unit
Wow.
to deal with those.
A lot going on here.
It's got a
Well,
lot
the
of
question
rings, that
is,
big boy,
if you have
and
non-GDI
In Control
or
just needs
GDI
to-
and
this
non,
missile is
do you have the third faction, which is what the hell are the name of the purple aliens?
Got it, Matt.
Yep, there it is.
Gonna take it. Defeating Nick at
That
Night
was
here
legit.
6-1.
Dude, that was epic.
Amazing. What a match. Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
Any thoughts, guys?
I just came to make mammoth tanks, so I've done my job. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. We saw a little bit
Yeah,
of
I
everything
agree
right
with
there.
you.
Perfect.
I enjoy
Let's
making
hear it
mammoth
for
tanks.
Nathanius.
How about you build an actual
Nick
fucking RTS that allows me to do so? God,
Ladies and gentlemen, what you
fucking
just
damn
saw was the worldwide reveal of Command and Conquer Rivals.
Fuck you. Make a real
Rivals
game.
reimagines the real-time strategy experience. for
No.
mobile. We're giving players
No.
complete hate continuous control of their armies.
I'm mad now.
In quick, competitive head-to-head
I didn't think I was going to get mad
that
at
are
this conference. I
fueled
knew
by
I was going to
skill
get
and
bored
strategy.
at the sports, and I was going to
Now,
get
Rivals will be
excited at
coming to
certain
iOS
other
and
things.
Android devices, but I'm
But
excited
I didn't think I
to
was going to
announce
get
that Android
angry.
players can play the pre-alpha today. So head to the Google Play Store, search Command & Conquer Rivals. The studio has been having an absolute blast playing this
The
game,
question
and we can't
is
wait
it
for
free
you
to play?
Please
If
let
it's
us
free
know
to
what
play,
you
then you got
Thank you.
microtransactions, and you can sway the fight. See, here's the problem. There's cool stuff there. If you look at the Nod commander's hand, she's got Tiberium into her skin. That means that they're injecting themselves with liquid Tiberium, increasing their physical power. But you're gonna waste it on a mobile game. Good job. And he's back, but he's not. Who's the guy who actually plays Nod Commander in the? Because that was the other cool thing about Command and Conquer is that they had live action people intercut to the game footage.
I am blessed to be able to work with some of the most creative people on the planet who come to work every day to create amazing entertainment. And what I can say about all of those teams, and what I can say about us, is that we are always trying to learn and listen and strive to be better. And so, as you look at the 10 experiences that you're going to see today, and as you play games this week, there's some things we hope come through. First, that at the very core is choice. Is that you as players get to choose how you play, what you play, when you play, and what devices you play on.
To request that you
those
make an
choices,
actual
you feel
RTS
you are
game.
treated fairly. That no one is given an unfair advantage or disadvantage for how they choose to play. That for every moment that you invest, we know that you put so much of your life into the games we make, and that for every moment that you invest, you feel like you are rewarded and you are given value for that investment. And most importantly,
This
the games
speech
are fun,
would work a
that we
lot
move
better
past the
after other
grind,
games
and
that
these
weren't
are
a
experiences
mobile
that
version
truly
of a
enhance
really
your
good
lives.
RTS.
And so, as we think through all the things that we're trying to do, know that we want to be better and that we want to make great games. And that as much as we love making games and as much as you love playing them, there's
We
something
really
that's even
like
greater
money.
that we can do together. The power of this community,
That's the
when
thing
we
that we
come
like the
together
most.
to
We
do amazing
really
things,
like
is
your
profound.
money.
Last weekend was the 3rd year of our Play to Give program, where we show the world how the power of play can be a positive force for social impact.
I'm not going to be angry through the
Millions of you
charity
out there
section. I'm not
participated
inhuman.
in 9 in-game challenges in our games, logging millions of hours in support of Play to Give. And to celebrate that, we contributed a total of $1 million to 3 charities that share our vision for a more inclusive world.
Nice. That's
a
cool.
world where representation and equality are not something we strive for, they are the standards. And where bullying and exclusion are not an everyday threat. These 3 organizations, the United Nations He for She, PACE's National Bullying Prevention Center, and Ditch the Label, an anti-bullying organization, all are doing great work, and we're proud to support them through Play to Give.
Interesting.
That's cool. And thank you for your support. Thousands of us at EA and millions of you together doing immeasurable good because we love games. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for the incredible privilege of making games for all of you. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at Anthem.
There we go. It's part of the conference that I was actually looking forward to.
The gods vanished and left our world in chaos, creating, altering, destroying. The Anthem is all that remains.
Okay, so this central location is the Anthem.
These walls can't protect us forever.
You know what? Now that I look at this more, I think this is where Lost Planet's designs and concepts went. I think they just took all that stuff and put it into Anthem, which is a good idea. Like, if you're gonna reuse Lost Planet, do so, because Lost Planet's really cool. Also, this is CG, so I don't really believe any of what you're showing me. I can't remember the names of the mechs that they talk. There's a heavy type, there's an all-rounder, there's what seems to be a new speed type, and then there's like a warlock type as well. What is this? Just show the game.
How cool was that trailer? You guys have seen it a couple
It's okay.
times, and it's still cool every time I see it.
Like,
so
it's fine.
I know all of you, like me, have had tons of questions about Anthem since last year because we're all BioWare fans. So we're gonna do something a little bit different for the rest of the show, and we're gonna take a deep
I don't
dive
know if
into
BioWare
Anthem.
fan is the
So I'm
right
gonna bring out
term
some
anymore,
members of
because
the
I don't know
BioWare
if
team to chat
BioWare
with
is even
us.
BioWare
Ladies and gentlemen,
anymore.
please give a warm welcome to Casey Hudson, Mark Dara, and Kathleen Rutzart.
Yeah, Casey Hudson's the general, Kathleen's the writer, and then
All right,
Mark's the
thanks
executive
guys. Thanks
producer.
for coming out today. Just got a little game to show, right? Yep. It's going to be very exciting. So Casey, we're going to go ahead and just jump right in and get started with you. So now we know that you all started, or Casey, you started your career at BioWare way back in the day, but you took a couple years off. But before you came back, you actually worked on Anthem before you left.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, first of all, it's amazing to be back. It's awesome to be making games for BioWare fans. You know, we have the best fans. So it's been super satisfying to come back to it. And, you know, I just want to be able to continue the legacy of the studio. And that's kind of where it started with Anthem, is just thinking about, you know, what is the evolution of a BioWare game?
Are they slowing down that footage, or is the frame rate actually
a whole
that
new world
choppy?
of story and character?
Because that looked kind of
But
choppy.
we also wanted to do something that was, you know, more of a dynamic and living world, a game that would change every time you came back and played it. We also wanted to do something where, you know, if you wanted to invite your friends into it, then you could do that as well. So that was really the initial vision of the game, not an MMO, not a multiplayer game with stories sort of bolted on this side, but something new and different, and I think the team has really captured that vision over the years.
You fans really love the stories from BioWare, but I think we're kind of curious how you're planning to make story work in this shared world.
So a great story for BioWare is really about characters that you can have a connection with, choices you get to make, and feeling like the story is about you. In a lot of multiplayer games, those things get diluted because you're mixing multiplayer and storytelling into the same areas. Now you can build a solution to that, but you have to
I think
really
it's more
build it
interesting
into
to
the core of
learn the
game.
stories
That's what we
of
tried to do
the people that you
Anthem.
interact with
So what we
and
call
their
our world, my
extended
story.
stuff, and
So
why
when
they
you're
make the
out in the
choices they
open
want to make,
world,
or why they suggest
the world is
to
really
you
dangerous,
to make a
and you're focused on your
particular
mission.
choice, why their
And
bias
this is
exists
where other
towards
players get to play
certain
with you.
characters or certain
The
personalities.
thing that's really
and stuff.
interesting about this, it's unique for Anthem, is that this is a living shared world. So whether there's weather or it's nighttime, what we're experiencing together. Everyone that's playing Anthem at a moment is seeing the same thing. And this is what we mean when we talk about our world.
What?
It's
What's
a shared
the
world
deal
that we all
with the
experience
energy
together.
thing in the
But
middle
then
there?
when I finish my mission, I come back to a base like Fort Tarsus. And this is a single player experience. I turn in my rewards, I talk to some characters, I experience the choices of my action. And this is where your story really lives and breathes.
Inside the base, it's
and
a
by doing it this way, we're
single-player
able to
game.
combine
Outside the
that
base, it's a
impact
multiplayer
and agency
together
of a
shooter.
single-player story.
That's
with
an
the
interesting
fun of
idea.
teaming up with your friends to play co-op in combat.
And we're also designing it so that we can add story for years to come. So one of the first things that we hear when, from our community is they want to continue to play in our worlds. When they've finished Mass Effect or Dragon Age, players want more story. And so we've designed Anthem in a way that we can actually add more story for years to come. And it could be anything. A new moment with a character that you've grown to love, or an event in the world that deepens the lore, or an entirely new storyline and plot.
Well, I'm certainly not going to complain about more story. I don't think anybody out there is going to either. So Kathleen, I wanted to ask you, from a writing perspective, since you are the lead writer, can you speak to what it's like to create a new world like Anthem from the beginning?
Well, what's really exciting for us, and not just the writers, but all of the devs, the designers, the artists, is that we're creating something new and mysterious for players to discover. So at the heart of the premise of Anthem is a world left unfinished by the gods. But the gods left behind their massive tools, and those tools are in constant conflict with this unknowable force called the Anthem of Creation. And the chaos of those things pushing against each other means that the world is constantly being reshaped in new and unpredictable ways.
Yeah, violent storms, mutated creatures, gigantic monsters. It's a dangerous environment that you need to wear a suit of powered armor, a javelin, to be safe in.
Now, something I think a lot of players out there maybe don't stop to think about is just how much work goes into creating a new intellectual property, or IP, as we've been saying. Now, we've seen all these different creatures, and Mark, you mentioned the storms. What's the process of creating a game like from scratch?
Yeah, it's something we've done a few times at BioWare. And then really the hardest part is getting started, just kind of getting off the blank page. So what we try to do is we think about the new experiences that we're trying to unlock for players. So like, what is the fantasy fulfillment? What are the new things you actually get to go and do that are different from what you've played before? So that's where we start. And then once we think about those things, that's the power of creating new IP, especially for games, is that you actually get to build a whole fictional universe that's meant to bring out a certain experience. And then once we do that, then we still need to build all the rest of the stuff, and what unlocks us creatively is to think about like principles around art style, tone, and even the technology and the politics of our new world. And then from there, we can actually go and build out every last detail.
Yeah, and one of the unique challenges for Anthem is that it's a world, an experience that's meant to feel alive, like it's happening right now. And so the world is always changing, whether the storms, seasons, and it's a really great concept to write for, because what it means is it gives us the opportunity to drop into the world, almost in real time, a dramatic event that changes the world for everyone. And that could be anything from gameplay to lore.
I mean, all of the moving parts in the dynamic world sound really cool, the way that they sound like they're going to come together. But even though there's obviously a lot going on, it really all comes back to your character. So let's talk about who we're going to be playing as and why we're fighting these crazy beasts.
So you are a freelancer, uniquely skilled to pilot these Javelin exosuits. And you need those suits to survive and fight in this world, because the world will kill you. But on top of that, our ancient rivals, the Dominion, they've discovered a way, they think, to weaponize the Anthem of Creation. And so we need to stop them and protect the free people of Tarsus.
Now, I've heard you call this power armor a couple different things. Is it a suit? Is it a javelin? Like, what's the canon term here?
We call them javelins, and there are 4, and they each have unique abilities.
Ranger.
There's the Ranger, and then there's the Colossus, the Interceptor, and finally the Storm.
Yeah, so each javelin gives you a different way to play the game. But the thing to remember is, like Kathleen said, you're not your suit. You are a freelancer, a pilot, which means you can decide which suit you want to use based on your mood, based on the mission you want to engage in, or the javelins that your friends are using.
So
really
there's
what
going to
this
be
allows
some
us to
level
do
of
is
team
we
composition
built the
for
suits
higher
to look
grade
like they're built
like
from
dungeons or
materials of the
raids
world.
or stuff,
So
where
they
you're going
each
to need
have their own
X number of
abilities.
tanks,
So
X
let's take a
number of
look
support.
at the Ranger now. The Ranger is a more generalized suit, able to do a lot of different things. Really designed for up close and personal combat, one-on-one for the most part. The Colossus is heavier, more specialized, but able to really pack in big weapons that let them devastate the battlefield.
I'm just gonna say the Storm looks like it's gonna be my favorite. I'm sure you guys out there are picking your faves right now too. So the javelins look awesome, but we're gonna take a couple questions right now. So Casey tweeted, some of you may have seen, asking for people out there to send us your questions. And the first one is gonna be from @It'sSweetNicole, who asks, as a player who is all about making their character their own, what kind of customization options will be available in Anthem?
Yeah, so we really want players to express themselves, both through customizing the way their javelin plays, through gear and weapons, but also being able to personalize the way that it looks, both through paint jobs as well as changing the actual geometry of the
So they
suit
went
itself.
from
we want teams to be able
EVA
to do this
Unit
as well.
1 to
And because
N7.
you're going
That
to be using the
okay? So
javelin
they're
for a long
reusing some
period of
color
time,
and combination
we really want
stuff.
you to be able to make it your own.
Cool.
I'm glad you brought that up, because actually, Jay Legato has a question connected to customization. Monetization. How, when, loot box, cosmetics?
Yeah, so we are going to have some cosmetics and vanity items that you'll be able to purchase, but you're always going to know what you're going to buy before you spend any money on it. So no loot boxes, no ability to pay for power. So that means no ability
So it's just
to spend
pay
money
to
on
look
gameplay
cool.
advantage at all within
That's
Anthem.
fine.
But even more important than that, we want to make sure that Anthem is an immersive experience that feels like it's complete from the get-go. So that means a main story, a big open world, and an ongoing service that provides new content for a long period of time. New story, new experiences for everyone.
Well, I'm glad to hear that I can make my javelin pink. That's really all I wanted to know, I'm going to be honest. All right, Casey. We talked earlier about this being a co-op experience. So can you tell me a little bit about how the team gameplay
Yeah, how does co-op work?
Yeah, it really is about the fun of teaming up as a team of superheroes
Do you
working
have
together.
to
So
co-op?
you want to get a few people together of different classes. So I think here we're going to see the Colossus, just hammering people on the ground in gameplay. If we can have a look at that. So heavy artillery, being really strong, in melee combat. And then here you've got the Ranger shooting down from above, and then they're using combos and special abilities and stuff like that. But what I love is you don't just run around, you're swimming and flying as well.
So it's interesting because the Slate Tones wants to know, how will you balance multiplayer with single-player storytelling?
So Anthem's really built around trying to combine the impact of having your own personal story with the fun of playing with other players. But we really want to make sure that that playing with other people feels like a choice. So for people that want to just experience the story, you're going to be able to do that. Now, going out into an open world like this by yourself is going to be a little bit more challenging than if the team of 4 people. And we've really tried to balance the co-op experience to be fun, even for people that don't normally engage in this kind of thing. So I really hope that everyone at least gives co-op a try.
Okay, that's good to know. If you want to roll solo, you can, but it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Well, I know you all are on the edges of your seats.
Yeah.
How about we show a little gameplay? Yeah? You guys want that? All right, so Kathleen, I think you're going to set this up for us?
I will. So, you and your friends have decided to play a mission called Scars and Villainy. The Scars have put together an acid-based super weapon, so you got to take them out. So you start in the Strider, which is like a giant walker, and it's your forward base of operations. You have a conversation with your crew, Halleck, Faye, and Owen, and you'll hear Owen. He's going to talk us through the mission as we experience it here. And yeah, then you just get into your javelin suit and you head out with your friends.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark, Casey, Kathleen, for talking to me about Anthem today. We're going to go ahead and roll the gameplay now. Enjoy, everybody.
Freelancer, time to get to work.
Faye said these bastards made some kind of acid. They're using it as a weapon. So, Find where they're making this garbage and shut it all down.
Owen, what's the plan here?
So you
You've
have
got
to...
loads of scars nearby. Take a look around the area, but be careful.
So you have to control your temperature of your fuel gauges and stuff. Yep, this feels a lot like what... This reminds me a lot of stuff from Lost Planet.
Checking out the Scar Camp some more.
Which is a good idea.
Look at all the weapons! Oh, and the turrets! Better move quickly.
Ooh. That thing's cool. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be manning Colossus. Because Colossus looks like the most fun.
There's a shaker relic.
Out of the four.
Get a
They
closer look,
haven't
would you?
shown Storm yet.
See those radiant pieces of energy? They're echoes from the Anthem of Creation. Loads of scars nearby. Be careful.
Frost grenade, mortar.
Return them to the relic. You've got to silence it fast.
Oh, here we go. Here's the... Yeah, so it looks like the Storm doesn't do a whole lot of damage with their guns, but they've probably got either electrical or psionic powers that give them a bit more.
It's gone silent. Disaster averted. Do you think we can
Power.
about this for... Wait, something's happening.
What the hell was that?
I think that was whatever laid all the eggs around here. The sound came from below your position.
We got a Monster Hunter scenario here?
On the plus side, this definitely counts toward hazard pay. There's a trail of this acid gunk leading down. Follow it, and we should find the source.
Or are we getting an aliens thing? Alright. Kind of a cool looking monster. Any details on if there's going to be an open beta? Because I'd like an open beta.
How cool was that? I'm so hyped, you guys.
Yep, and that was actually just a short version of the full demo that we brought here to LA. So if you want to come by the Anthem Theater here at EA Play, you can check out the game live.
So I'm sure the question on everyone's minds, when do we get to play?
So Anthem comes out February 22nd, 2019.
Okay.
On Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
Okay.
So mark your calendars, everybody. Fire off your tweets. Thank you so much again to Casey and the entire BioWare team. I know
we
you
get
guys
an
had
open
that
beta?
awesome theater outside, so I will see you guys there.
That's pretty much the only other question that I have is, do we get an open beta?
I also want to give a big thank you to all of the developers who showcased their games today and everybody working hard at their studios back
I think
home
that's about it.
around the world. Let's give them all a round of applause.
There's some cool stuff in there.
Now, some of what
I'm
you
happy
saw
that
today,
we're
you
getting
guys have to
Unravel
wait
2
to
and
play.
some of
But
those.
you guys, EA has so much available right now. Now,
I'm
for
happy
those of
that
you keeping
indie
score,
games
you can get your free
get
trial
some,
of FIFA 18's World Cup today. And
stuff.
Andrew told us about the free trial of Origin Access. Yarny is back with a buddy in Unravel 2, which is also available today. Plus, you can take on your friends in Command & Conquer Rivals starting today as well. Now, that's a lot of available stuff that's out today. Is anybody ready to go home and download anything? No? You're like, I just want to go outside into the fan fest. I get it. So I want to let you guys know to keep your streams going because in just a few moments, the FIFA 18 World Cup live tournament is going to begin. I'm going to head outside and check out the games, but I want to thank everybody for coming down to EA Play today and watching the press conference, and have a great weekend.
All right, that's the end of the conference. Yeah. Best parts easily are knowing that Unravel gets a sequel that is out today. That's awesome. This SOS game looks super cool. I'm excited to see more about it. Anthem looks cool. I hope we get an open beta that allows us to try it out before having to buy it next year. Or wanting to buy it next year, just because I want to know how it plays. I'm still disappointed that Command & Conquer has now been locked onto a fucking mobile game and they won't make... But they still have...
Hi guys, my name is Q-Boy. Welcome back to the stream now.
Shush. It still exists. There's still Command & Conquer. They haven't completely killed the license, but it's not what it used to be. Okay. Yeah. So I think I will take whatever this video is and cut it down. Yeah. Honestly, the most exciting part about this conference was the independence. So, anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next conference.